Welcome to Own the Chaos.
Chaos Crew.
The stock market is crazy and chaotic.
And then there's the Kronos Group. Yes, people, how could I not have a pot stock on this list?
Brad and Fat Man Zoom are here to help you own it.
All right, we got the top stocks to buy if Kanye wins the presidency.
Taking it to the suits, being relatable and hilarious.
That is crazy.
We have a nice super boner, quite a
Holy
lovely
hell.
green one.
Over $31.
We have a nice super boner.
What's up, guys? Yes, as the title says, I am completely out of Tesla, but not to worry. We're going to be back in at some point, but we're going to talk about why I ended up selling all of my Tesla and also all kinds of other good stuff. Isn't that right, Fat Man Zoom?
Yeah, man, we definitely need to touch on Peloton and Apple for sure. A couple people in the comments mentioned Apple going off, and then some positions. We've had a lot of a lot of activity today in our accounts that we've been talking about. So I know everybody's talking about Drive Shack, Apple, Peloton. Everything's been moving. It's been an interesting day for sure, but most importantly is Tesla. And what the hell did you do?
That's right. So before I get into it, guys, I just want to welcome you to Own the Chaos. Stock market is crazy and chaotic. Fat Man and Zoom and I have made it our mission to help you own it. So if you're visiting for the first time, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. Happy to have you. Above all else, if you guys want to support the channel, we certainly would appreciate that thumbs up. And if you're new, please consider subscribing, hitting that notification bell, all that good stuff. You know what to do. But yeah, I ended up selling out of Tesla today. The rest of it, I should say. Now, this journey that I've been kind of leading you guys on with this Webull account that I started back in the beginning of September to present to, all our Chaos crew members, and really just kind of showing you a journey from starting from a smaller account size to building it up to whatever it ends up being. So far, year to date, we're up 60% on this, and it's doing really well. Tesla was one of my first buys into this account, and my original buy on this was in the low $400 range, ended up averaging down here and there, but has just performed extremely well. And I've been selling into strength, but then also buying in on some dips here and there. And today I ended up selling the rest of it because it broke out of this channel. I'm sorry, I should say wedge that I have marked here on the daily chart. So this broke out here technically, and so I ended up just selling the rest of it. But at the end of the day, Tesla is still one of my biggest movers. And also this account that I've been building on is a short-term trading account. So short-term swing trades. It's not intended to really kind of have long-term, growth. I have another account that I keep in long-term growth, which I have not touched Tesla on, but, wanted to just lock in profit and not ride this all the way back down. Fat Man Zoom, you know what happened last time a huge catalyst like this took place, especially with the split. Then battery day happened, and then, it just kind of went flat, sold off and stayed flat until this S&P inclusion took place. And so in no way, shape, or form have I turned bearish on Tesla or anything like that. But I kind of felt as if we're seeing a repeat, and I didn't want to fall back into that trap of just kind of waiting forever for it to move. So I wanted to go ahead and take profits and not just ride this all the way back down. And I do intend on being back in Tesla probably sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and for those in the Chaos crew, we've done a video talking about the different accounts you should have. And you and I both have multiple accounts, and you need to understand what strategy is for which account. But absolutely, like from a short-term perspective, if you're short-term swinging, Tesla's a great stock.
Yeah.
But there's no reason to sit in it and just deal with the heartache and pain the whole time when you could benefit both ways off moving. It's interesting for us, though. We had sort of like inverse strategies with Tesla, where we were both full position size going into actually full position size plus going into the S&P entry last Friday, and then we both scaled out. Now, this is where it changed. So we're up until that point, we were both pretty similar, and then we both scaled out, but I scaled out far more than you scaled out. And so, whereas I was kind of letting it sit and being happy with it, you had a little bit more in, we're playing the ride, and then you totally got out. As you were getting out, I was actually adding on. So I've added on. I had it on at 640, which I said I would in Stock Watch Sunday. And then I also sold out, and then I put it in an order for 600. It's actually like 601 or something.
Yeah.
But I have two more sort of pieces in my position that I can add to it, two more scale-ins that I have available. I believe in the stock from a swing trading perspective, from a long-term perspective. So I think there is that opportunity, but we're a little bit different, and I always leave a little bit in, whereas you're getting out, getting back in. Nothing's wrong with either strategy. We're both bullish on the stock.
Yeah.
But I agree, like it's probably going to be sideways. We've been talking about this. We've been getting a little bit of heat because we went a little bit against the trend.
Yeah.
When everybody thought it was going to go to like 1,000, and we've said, well, hold up a minute. Listen, the indexers are in. ETFs are in. You could tell me it's because Apple had a car. You can tell me whatever you want to tell me, but the reality is the move was on Friday. We saw the move on Friday on our live stream.
Yep.
Volumes at normal. So now we're just waiting for the next catalyst, which I think is going to be million cars and the semis. And once those hit, we're going to be rolling again.
Yeah, I was just about to say the semis could be probably the next big thing too. And again, I haven't sold anything for my longer term account, so this is just for this short term account, and I do plan on being back in. So what's next? What do I do now? As the title says, I'm looking for this to potentially come back down to the low $600 range. If it doesn't, then I'll look to see if this can actually hold up above 630. Right now, it's actually holding up above 633, and we'll see if that actually ends up holding. I'm not too confident that it'll hold in the short term. I'm thinking that we could see some continued selling, and if by some chance this gets down below 610, then I will be right back in this thing and ready to ride it for the next leg, for the next upcoming catalysts that we just kind of discussed. And so it's not a farewell forever thing for Tesla. I do plan on being back in, but I kind of wanted to let you guys know my strategy and what I was looking for in this account specifically, that we like to reveal to our Chaos Crew members. And I saw somebody asking about this as well. So they wanted to know how you got access to the portfolio. And I show it to you guys here, usually in the public, with the public folks, on an every now and then basis. But if you want daily access to this portfolio, then you need to become part of the Chaos Crew. And if you want to do that, then you hit the join button next to subscribe to get access to the portfolio. It's actually $9.99 a month. Can't beat it. But then you also get a daily watch list from us. You also get private live streams, helpful videos, all kinds of other great content that you just won't be able to get anywhere else for $9.99 a month. You just can't beat it. So you want to do that. You want to help out the channel and get a little bit of something in return. We certainly would appreciate it if you guys became part of the Chaos Crew. Again, hit the join button next to subscribe, or there's a link in the description. We'd love to have you guys over there. We are still waiting to hear from Funny Pranks Gone Wrong. Anybody, if he's watching, he was the one that won the free Tesla share. And still hasn't come forward. So hopefully he does soon. We're going to give him a little bit of time to respond, but we haven't heard from him. So Funny Pranks Gone Wrong. If you're watching this at a later date or what have you, just comment down below. Find some way to reach out to us on social media.
There he is.
Hey, there he is. He wasn't there for stock watching. Funny Pranks Gone Wrong. You won, man. So hit me up. As time's expired, I have to redo it. Yeah.
Hey, Nate, you've emailed me before. Just shoot an email. Respond to the email.
Yeah. So you won the free Tesla share, my man. So make sure you're reaching back out to us. We'll make sure we get it to you. All right. So Peloton, man. Peloton has also been on absolute fire. Why did it go off like crazy today?
Yeah, so Peloton had announced yesterday an acquisition of Precor, which you guys may know it. I would imagine most big gyms have them. They have a partnership with Planet Fitness. They have a partnership with 24 Hour Fitness.
Yeah.
Ellipticals and treadmills technically is more what they're known for on the corporate side. So they announced that acquisition. On top of, let's not forget, they were just entered into the NASDAQ 100. That happened officially on Monday. So they had a lot of catalysts, but that acquisition was huge for them. And I said it's better to be lucky than good on my Twitter. And so I had already been in it. We have it in the long-term portfolio, which we're building up a long-term portfolio for on the Chaos. You guys will hear more about that in January, but we started working it. We had that just because I went into it because I like it in general. We think that New Year's resolutions, we think there's a lot of good things going on. And I got in when I found out about the NASDAQ 100. Positions up over 50%. It's looking beautiful. We're not touching it because it's in a long-term account. So we're going to ride through 2021 with it. But this was just icing on the cake. It's huge. And I'm not going to get into all the details, but here's the main reason why it's great. It's great because the biggest pain point for Peloton right now, and the biggest logjam has been the demand, unable to meet demand. Well, the problem's been supply.
Yeah.
So they've been unable to meet demand. They've had a lot of customer service issues with delays, and it's been it's been sort of ongoing. And we even talked about this after last earnings, because we had mentioned, yeah, they're saying they're caught up, but everything we're hearing on the street says that they're not. And that's what's showing up is just massive delays. I think it's like Precor has like 625,000 square feet of manufacturing space.
That's incredible.
So this allows them to meet that supply and then launch their next products next year. So this is all good stuff. And it directly addresses problem number one, public enemy number one for their stock.
Yeah, I mean, and Precor is huge. I mean, I regularly go to Planet Fitness, and that whole area is just loaded with Precor products. And this is going to solve. We've talked about how Peloton has a problem, and it was a good problem to have, and that was just crazy amount of demand. And so this has kind of been just one of their challenges, is to be able to catch up with it. And Precor, this acquisition here, just allows them to really kind of ramp that up to meet demand. And the faster they can get the products out, the more that they can sell. And it's just going to be awesome, man, especially when it comes to some of their new products that they have coming out. And we've talked about their treadmill, their road machines, all that stuff. This just makes everything so much better for them. This acquisition, I think, just can't be overstated for Peloton. It's going to be, I mean, I don't know, man. It's going to be a crazy 2021 for them.
Yeah, and Shane Haley, we had a few people in the crew that were in it. Shane Haley sold out today. I tripped out today in my short-term swing. Again, long-term swing is holding on to it. But yeah, I just sold out. We'll see how it ends up playing out. But he sold out, said happy with profits, got in under $100. So awesome. Again, a 50% plus opportunity there.
Yeah.
And then, for me, I just felt like I got it yesterday before the news. So I just felt like, all right, I'm going to hang. Oh, sorry. I got it on. Yeah, yesterday. And so I was like, you know what? I'm happy with that move. To be able to get that kind of move in 24 hours was like, I can get back in. I think there's going to be profit taking. My stop just tripped. I was at 159.85 and it looks like right now it's almost at 161. So I'm not going to regret it. I'm happy with the profits I made.
Yeah, man. And I see a lot of people actually saying that, they are up 100%, or what do I do? You might be having some questions for yourself. If you've been in Peloton and you're up that much and you haven't sold anything, what's the decision? How do you play this? Well, we always talk about scaling in, scaling out, and selling into strength and buying into weakness, all that good stuff. So if you're up 100% on something, for me personally, in my experience, and this is a rule of thumb that a lot of other investors follow too, is that if you're up 100% on an investment, then take your own money back out. So just just to make it simple, if you bought Peloton for $1,000 and it's now valued at $2,000, then, it might make sense to try to scale out and take at least the money that you put back into it. So take that first initial $1,000. That way, whatever's left in there is just 100% house money. And so no matter what you sell it for at that point, it is profit dollars regardless. So it just kind of relieves some of that emotional behavior that you may end up having if, for whatever reason, things get volatile. It takes risk out of it so that, you can protect that capital you have. So if you guys are curious about that, how do I sell when I'm up this high? And this goes for just about anything that you're in. I always try to encourage folks to really kind of protect their capital, and that if they want to leave some money in there, then make sure that it's nothing but profit dollars at that point.
Yeah. And Claudia, shout out to her. She's up 100%. Almost 100% on Peloton. Nice work. Good on you on that one. But yeah, we got a couple people who've done really well on this. I saw somebody else had put that they did well in Peloton. I can't find it, but yeah, Victor Hugo sort of mimicking your response, which is, when you're up over 100%, sell as a general rule. Yeah, for sure. So all that looks good. But again, like, be happy with the green. Be happy with the green.
Yep.
Move on to the next one and do the same thing. Rinse and repeat. So
absolutely.
This one, it's cool to see. It's cool to see when these things play out the way they should play out. Especially one, it's not easy to call out a remote stock when we have the vaccine and when we're reopening.
Yeah. Right.
But all the indicators show that this was a great opportunity, had huge upside. And I think people are going to be really surprised at the move in 2021. Hint, top stock for 2021. So I'm excited. But next piece of news that I wanted to go over was talk a little bit about Apple.
Right.
They had good news yesterday, and also they've had a good move. So you want to talk about the news yesterday?
Yeah. So they essentially came out and said that they're coming out with their own EV. We know that EVs have been absolutely on a giant hype machine. Everybody and their mother is creating a new electric vehicle. I think by the time this is all said and done, we're going to see maybe 2 or 3 powerhouses as far as EVs are concerned. So any of you guys that are in the smaller ones, you're obviously taking on a little bit more risk, but who knows? Maybe one of those will end up shining out above the rest, not named Tesla, of course. But Apple is throwing their hat into the ring. And this is something that I'm actually a little bit scratching my head over. I don't know if this is going to be a successful venture for Apple. I mean, it's hard to argue or go against Apple because it seems as if they're just successful in everything that they go after. I don't think they would have gone after and tried to build an EV if they weren't confident in being able to build a good quality one that people are going to buy and want. But I almost feel as if by the time they come out with their EVs, which they're projected to have by 2024, and we know as well as anybody that when they make those timeline projections, they usually end up coming out even later. So let's just say that that's the case and it's 2025 or 2026 before they come out with their first vehicle. They're behind the 8 ball a lot. And so that's one big concern for mine. But again, it's Apple and the brand loyalty is serious. So I would imagine there's definitely going to be quite a bit of interest in an Apple EV. What say you, Fat Man Zoom?
It's crazy. I don't know how I feel about this because on the surface, I like it. And you want to think that if anybody can do it, Apple would be the one to do it.
Yep.
But there's the one thing I'm hung up on is the difference between the two companies, Apple and Tesla, that is that Elon's a visionary.
Yeah.
Like he's a visionary. Apple was built on a visionary Steve Jobs, and Tim Cook's a genius, don't get me wrong, but he's really just moving forward based on that framework. And it seems logical, but that type of move is scary, and I think there's more risk than upside to this. Like if I'm in Apple, it sounds great, but getting into the automotive industry, it's just capitally intensive. I liked what they were doing, moving towards things that have to do with high margin, right? They were moving towards like merchant processing or credit card. They were moving towards cloud stuff. So like Apple Fitness, that type of stuff I love because of the high margins.
Right.
Tesla found a niche and exposed it and did a great job at that. You look at everybody else, look at the collateral damage, and don't tell me about any of the companies that exist right now because they're just riding on the coattails of Tesla. Don't give me another company. The reality is if you look before Tesla, it's just a heap of scrap because nobody could figure it out.
Yeah.
Hey, Nissan Leaf, where you at? Like, so it seems like there's so much risk, but I get it. It's going to get people excited. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, to me, when you look at this, Apple is supposedly, going after trying to acquire some of the technology that Bill Gates has developed for an electric vehicle. And so I almost kind of low key think that this is Bill Gates trying to and this is me completely theorizing. So put your conspiracy theory hats on. But Bill Gates and Elon Musk have rubs with each other. It's like the rubs between two billionaires and two just insanely great minds. Like you saw that Elon was taking some jabs at Bill Gates earlier when he went and bought the Porsche Taycan instead of going out and buying a Tesla, and it just all kinds of stuff like that. So I'm wondering if this is subtle ways of him just kind of poking the bear a little bit, and he's just kind of leveraging Apple for that, which is interesting because obviously they're direct competitors, but they're somehow working together on this one to kind of find a way to compete with Elon. It'll be interesting to see how this all just plays out. I think that Apple's going to have a really awesome car. Whether or not they can actually turn it into profitability and really actually carve out space in the marketplace, I don't know. I think that's going to be the biggest challenge, is just being able to carve out, that marketplace, real estate for this area, because before Tesla came along, there was just no breaking that barrier to entry as far as competition was concerned. It was the big three, and then you had your Japanese Toyota, Honda, conglomerate over there. There was just no breaking into the market, and then Tesla figured out a way to break that mold. So I'm not sure how any of the other EVs are going to be able to sustain, enough to be able to kind of like hang around for a while. But obviously, a lot of that remains to be seen. I just kind of look at what we've seen in history and how hard it actually is to break into this market. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
Now, I think that on the flip end, you never bet against Apple, and they always find a way. They have some of the smartest people. They have a massive cash pile of nearly $100 billion. And so that's also, we got to remember that's what investors want to see and analysts want to see from growth companies. It's like, spend money. Right. And so it's like they've trying to do as much as they can. They're doing buybacks. They're doing dividends. Like they're doing all they can, but those actually don't work well for growth companies.
Right.
And on top of launching things, a huge, massive shift. And even though Tesla has been able to execute the EV, I don't want to say yet that they've revolutionized the industry, and I think they eventually will. And so bringing the innovation, if you consider Apple an innovative company, bringing that to the market and the automotive industry, shake things up, at least the hype's going to do well for the company. And I mean, think about the phone. Like, did we think it was going to get this big? I don't know. Like, I wouldn't have probably thought that it would get this big, this fast, and how it's changed how we do everything. Right. Maybe they do that for the cars.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, like you said, I wouldn't bet against Apple. If there's a company that was going to be able to do this and be successful at it, I would say it's probably going to be them, or maybe even Google. And they actually gave that a shot here and there and kind of like scrapped it. I don't know if it's still on the table for Google, but it doesn't seem like they've advanced that anymore. So
what about Amazon? Do you think Amazon could be a play?
I actually gave Amazon some consideration, but it almost seems as if they got so much else going on that I don't know if there's something that they will end up tackling. But, because they're already doing space travel and that sort of thing, which is something that Apple's not doing. So I don't know. I think that they would certainly be capable of something like that, especially from a package delivery standpoint. Can you imagine autonomous vehicles just driving around delivering packages and that sort of thing? That would be crazy. But yeah, I mean, they certainly have the capability and the resources to do something like that.
Yeah, and I mean, they've been looking at autonomous vehicles and it was just announced a taxi service, right?
Yeah.
So that could be a natural transition. I'm getting worried that these companies are just trying to do too much.
Yeah.
And I'm hard pressed to understand your logic from sort of a business expansion perspective. But again, there's certain companies you don't bet against, and those companies you don't really want to bet against.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Josmo says Amazon already is buying their own vehicles from Workhorse.
Yep.
Yeah, we're talking about more manufacturing them themselves. So yeah, we'll see. All good stuff. I know some people. SoundCloud says one day I'll have a strong partnership with Elon Musk. I did want to talk sort of to close this out about other positions you talk about. Maybe you're considering getting in, maybe you're considering scaling out of. Some people are talking about Open Door. I know some people are also asking about Arne Vonneker asked if anybody's buying the dip on Drive Shack. You talked about that as well. So let us know what you got going on in your account.
Yeah. So actually, I was just looking at Penn National. Penn National is making a run for all-time highs again. Just last Friday, they had all-time highs of $95.58, and we've started to see a flurry of buying here on Penn National at $94.16. So I'm still very much into that, even though I trimmed out some of that last week. Still feeling really good about it. I actually ended up adding to Open Door today, so ended up adding to that as well as Asana and Palantir. They both had pullbacks today. Felt as if those are going to be good ones to add to, especially with some of my Tesla profits. And I still got plenty of cash on the sidelines to kind of see what happens. So those are the ones that I really kind of added to, that I made changes to. But I have really strong convictions about those three: Open Door, Asana, and Palantir. So I look for those to potentially show up for the top stocks to watch for 2021. But man, I'm excited for this coming year, bro. There's just so many good companies that I think that are going to come from the ashes of what the crap show that was 2020. And, it's almost kind of like what we were seeing from 2008, where like you saw some huge problems, some huge issues with the market crashing and everything like that. And the companies that came out of that recession, I think we're going to see a repeat of that. And it may just be even more so than it was last time around.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of this coming year, tomorrow we're going to release a video on the top stocks for 2021. So if you are not a subscriber, like and subscribe, and make sure you hit the notification bell to be updated on that. We're going to do a premiere on that. So you'll see that tomorrow. We already have our stocks picked out. I'm excited for the list. So JF, sucka. Those are stocks not named Apple and Tesla. All right,
yep.
Felicia. Yeah, it's about to get booted. Don't feed the trolls. My bad. Don't feed the trolls.
That's right.
So I'm excited about that video, and that's going to be. I think we're going to have some home runs on that list.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm super excited for 2021. I think it's going to be a banner year for the stock market, and I'm here for it. So that's going to do it for today's show, guys. If you guys want to be a part of our extended live streams that we do, we're going to actually go live again at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time, but it's going to be just with our Chaos Crew folks. So if you guys are interested in being a part of that, we're going to go over some more stuff, answer some of your questions as well as far as our Chaos Crew is concerned. If you want to be a part of that, make sure you're hitting that join button next to subscribe. Links also into the description. You get access to our Webull portfolio. You get access to all kinds of other stuff. Obviously, the live stream. Also, a daily watch list, which we are absolutely crushing. And the Chaos Crew folks that are chatting in here can attest to that. So you guys want to be a part of that, make sure you're doing the thing. And that is going to do it for us. Anything else for you, Fat Man Zoom?
Now, guys, make sure you check the community tab. 3:30. We're going to do the closing bell. Jay, bye, Felicia.
See you guys. Have a good one. We'll catch you later. Hit that like button.